My sales went from 5,600 to 14,000 within a 2-month time frame. BQool Repricing saves me that 5 hours a week.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this BQool webinar. My name is Steve, and I'm your BQool host today. I'm originally from England in the UK, where my wife and I started a small business selling clothing on Amazon and eBay. Our guest today is not from the UK, but he's from the US, and I know you'll be as interested as I am to meet him and find out how he has been able to successfully grow his business, which is well on the way to a healthy 6-figure turnover this year. He retired from the 9-to-5 at 49 and is now an Amazon reseller, a book creator, a merch creator, YouTuber, TikToker, Instagrammer, and a mentor and personal coach, helping others to succeed. He's also a husband and dad when he's not too busy. So please join me in welcoming Tom Young, aka the Residual Hustler, to the show. Welcome, Tom.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me.
We're very happy to have you. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Not so bad, thank you. Yes, it's early morning here, and it's, I think, evening where you are. So a little
9
bit of
o'clock
time.
p.m. evening time here. Yes, in the middle of a rainstorm, mind you.
Oh, okay. Well, keep dry, stay talking to us. Okay, let's begin. Right then, Residual Hustler.
Mhm.
Why don't we start with that catchy name? Where did
Okay.
that name Residual Hustler come from?
It started back in 2012 when I joined a network marketing company because I was looking for a way to earn some extra money from home. Within 2 years, I hit the top 3% of that company, and it's a service-based company. So it's products like energy for your home, gas, cell phone service, home security service, services for the home and business. So when people go and pay those services, when I help them save money, every month I get a residual income. And it was in 2017 when I was explaining to a friend of mine what I do. And I really wasn't explaining Amazon. I was kind of explaining the network marketing side of my other business. They said, "Oh, so you try to gather as much residual income as you can." And I said, "Yeah." And the guy goes, "Boy, you're a real hustler." He goes, "You're like a residual hustler."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a nice name.
I liked the ring of it. So I immediately went on my phone and I go on to GoDaddy.com and I'm like residualhustler.com. Oh, it's available.
You
So
got
I
it.
bought it. And that was in 2017, and that's the brand that I've been developing since 2017. She's just
Yeah,
stuck with me.
wonderful. That's a great story because having an identity, especially online, and having a name that people remember is certainly a good thing to have when
Yeah,
promoting your business. Thank you,
yeah.
Tom. Why did you first start your Amazon business? Why did you start selling on Amazon? Just so we can understand the origin of how it all began.
Well, I've always had the mindset of keeping my mind open. And it was one of those people that I was hanging out with in that company during the time. And I'm still part of that company. I actually just had my 10-year anniversary. But back in 2015, when I was speaking to some people, meeting with people, Facebook friending them, watching their posts, one of them posted about selling on Amazon. And I never even heard of that. I didn't know that somebody else other than Amazon could actually sell on Amazon. I Googled it, I looked it up, I found it interesting, I learned, and then I just got started from there and just
Yeah,
started that wheel in motion.
sure. Like a lot of people, that get some information, watch a few videos,
Yeah.
well done for keep going. You've obviously kept going and made a
Yeah.
success of it. So yeah, very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
good. Thank you. Many people are a bit scared of starting on Amazon, sort of starting something new. So what would you say to those people?
I would say it's like anything. You've got this comfort zone, which we all know that we have. And when you stay in that little bubble, in that comfort zone, you're going to do well. You're going to do okay. Your comfort zone is over here, but where the money is over here. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to break out of that bubble, out of that comfort zone bubble, and start working on over here. And I had to learn to do that. Now, this was back in 2015. one of the things that took me out of my comfort zone was taking money that I've been earning from my network marketing business that I built up and starting Amazon. That was way out of my comfort zone, but I was willing to take the risk, and I was willing to lose some money to give it a shot. And I figured if I didn't give it a shot, I would never know what could actually become of it. So fear
Yes.
plays a huge part. Getting out of your comfort zone plays a huge part. You've got to learn to break those barriers, and then you'll find success on the other side.
Yeah, I think that's very true. You need, as you say, you need to be out of your comfort zone to find the opportunities, and I think the more that you do it as well, you become more familiar, more comfortable with with being outside the comfort zone. Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
strange how it works.
I'm even 7 years later, I still do things that take me out of my comfort zone, as regarding Amazon and buying inventory in bulk from a new distributor or new wholesaler, hoping things go well. Spending a couple $1,000s, which can be lost in a heartbeat. So I still take those risks. I still get sometimes butterflies in the stomach when I'm making big decisions, but I know that I've got to keep breaking through that.
And you do it anyway. Yeah, very, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Can you give us an overview? What kind of products does your company sell?
I deal mainly in grocery category and big brand products like Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, Hurley. I like to stick to those two categories the most.
Yes, so the sports clothes and the big names that you got ungated in, and you were able
Yeah.
to sell, make good profit on those items. Very good. Can you give us some tips about how you do sourcing? How do you find good products to sell with a good ROI, for example?
Well, that's one thing every new seller has to learn is they
Mm.
have to literally scan everything. I've had many people that I've helped over the years that when they get started, I always say to them, start out scanning books, could be even at the dollar store. Some local stores near us start out scanning books because they'll be the easiest to sell, and just scanning everything. And when you're scanning something, if it's other than books, when they get that little pop-up screen that says you require, authorization to sell this product, always click through the Seller Central app when you get that, and you make it auto ungated. A lot of new sellers
Yes.
can get auto ungated. I think Disney Princess brand will automatically ungate new sellers. So if you scan something Disney, say at Walmart, and it says requires authorization to sell this or request information, click on it on your app, click through twice. If you get that little blue and white screen that says you're approved, you're good to go to sell Disney. You don't have to try to get ungated for it. And
That's
just scan everything in different categories. And just even if you go to a store like a thrift store or a Walmart and you're in there for 2 hours and you scan 200 or 300 items and come out with one item, you really didn't lose. You just learned more about how everything works.
Yes, it can take a long time in the beginning, maybe, but the more practice you get, and you never know, as you say, you can click on something and you'll be ungated for something that you never thought you would be. Especially Disney, I didn't know that, so that's an interesting thing.
Yeah. Oh
Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, I like Disney myself. I watch the films like Encanto and things like that. I love them.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I know that song by heart by now. My youngest one is 6.
Okay, well, you would do.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll sing in chorus together later. Okay. What about competition, Tom? How do you deal with strong competition, or is it even a problem for you? Do you consider it a problem or an issue when there's strong competition?
Some of the things that I do when I'm outsourcing, when I go and I'm using the Amazon Seller app, and I'm
Hmm.
scanning and I'm looking to see how many other people are selling the same product. Okay. So if there's 20 sellers selling, say, like this box of pencils, and the profit is decent, I'll jump on the listing. But if I go on there and there's 40 sellers or 100 sellers, I will actually stay off of that listing, because there's just too many people. I'd rather spend my money on another product where I know I'm going to get a quicker return.
Yes, so it's really common sense, isn't it? You're looking at the competition, looking at the numbers of competitors, and if there's just too many, then you don't even go there, because you know that there's many other products that will have less competition.
Yeah,
Is that?
there's a lot out there. So I mean, it's an infinite amount. If it has a barcode on it, it can probably be sold on Amazon.
Sure. Thank you. Okay, so not too much of a problem then. What do you recommend when you're pricing? For example, those items you were talking about earlier, Nike or Under Armour, and any kind of clothing, really. How do you know what kind of price to set or what ROI to set?
In every This actually helps me to make my buying decision, which helps me to make a decision on pricing. We all know on Amazon, when you go on Amazon listing and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's what's known as a BSR number, a bestsellers rank number.
Bestseller ranking.
My goal is to stay in the top 1% of all those categories. And I actually created a chart just to give you an example. This chart here I created, and I have all the categories listed here. And the yellow column is all of the ranking numbers, the top 1%. So when I first started, I actually printed this out and I took it with me into the store. And I was looking at my Amazon app and looking, okay, this is a 100,000 rank in clothing. So I would go to my chart, look, okay, clothing, 1.6 million rank or less is the top 1% in the clothing category. And I'm looking at something with 100,000 rank. So I know that it's going to sell really, really quick because it's like 0.000 something as far as Amazon selling it. Even though in the clothing category, to use that as an example, 1.6 million is the top, up to the top 1%. I still stay under a rank of 250,000 in the clothing and shoe category because I want my product to sell really, really fast, because I want that quick turnover. As far as ROI, when I'm outsourcing, I'm looking for something that is going to bring me back a minimum of 50% ROI. Because I know that when I go to list a product and sell it, and when I'm actually using the BQool Repricer, I will put my minimum as 30% in case by the time I buy the product, get it home, package, ship it, list it, or ship it off to Amazon, and Amazon puts it up in their catalog, the price could have gone down a little bit, which is why I try to stay at 50% or more. So my comfort zone is not going below 30%. So I set it for 30%, sometimes 25%. It depends on what it is, but 30 is about the average. That way I know that my pricing is still going to fluctuate with the competitors, and I'm going to make a minimum of 30% off the product. So those are the main things that I do to make sure that I'm still in line with my competition.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. So what you're comfortable with. We're talking about comfort again, but you know what you're comfortable with the pricing, and that's worked well for you so far. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I know there are quite a few expenses with Amazon, but I think you've recently found a way of shipping items a little bit cheaper than UPS, for example, a competitor. So
if you're referring to
Pirates?
maybe Pirate Ship. Oh,
yeah.
I love Pirate Ship. I'm in no way affiliated with pirateship.com, but I will tell you, I mean, here where I live, this is what I'm finding. I recommended it to another reseller friend of mine in California. He's finding the same exact thing. I had a shipment. I'll tell you a real quick story. I had a shipment go out last Monday, and it was about 10 or 12 boxes, a total of 333 pounds of all those boxes. It was about 225 items packed up in about 10 or 12 boxes. Now, I don't have a van. I don't have a truck. I'd have to make multiple trips back and forth to the UPS store, which is about 10 minutes from my house, to drop them off. So up until about 4 or 5 months ago, I would always go to ups.com and do a customer pickup. And I would spend roughly about $17 or $18 for each pickup, where UPS comes to my home and takes all the boxes. Now, I actually got charged about $3 more every time because I live in a rural area.
Sure.
So I got charged more. And then I discovered I use pirateship.com to ship my eBay items. And all of a sudden, one day, a little icon button popped up on their website that I haven't seen before, and it said UPS pickup. I'm like, ooh, okay, what is this? So I click on it, and all it asked for was, when do you want to have these picked up? Set it for tomorrow. And all it said was, how many boxes do you have, and what is the total weight of the box? That's all of all the boxes total. That's all it asked for. Whenever I would use UPS.com and do a customer pickup, if I had 10 or 12 boxes, I had to put in 10 or 12 tracking numbers.
Right. Yeah. More work as well. Yeah.
And make sure it's all good. Double check, making sure I got that 15-digit number correct. So when I did it through pirateship.com, it said, okay, you're going to be charged $3.80. And I'm like, what? Huh? I'm like, I better click OK.
Sorry, per box was this, or for the whole lot?
Total. Now, that wasn't to ship the products to Amazon. That was to have UPS pick up the boxes from my home, where I would normally pay about $17 or $18 to have that done. UPS does the same thing, same truck, actually same guy, for $3.80. And I've since then, I think I've done, because I did one the other day, I think I did 34 pickups, anywhere from like 3 or 4 boxes to, I think my biggest one was almost 20 boxes. And every single time it's been $3.80 to have them pick them up. So I have saved roughly $13 to $14 every single time. And I think I've done about 34 pickups so far.
So far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That's a great story. That's a great story. And it's nice to pick up these tips that our audience can maybe use as well. It sounds like a company going places.
Oh, yeah. I actually posted that, I think, on my YouTube channel. And then I just recently got started with TikTok, mainly because I wanted to show my 16-year-old daughter that I could get more followers than her. And I did. But I posted, I think, 1 or 2 videos about pirate ship on TikTok. And since then, people have reached out to me saying, oh, my goodness, I went on there. Pirate Ship is free. You set up a free account. I went on there, I did it, and I got the same $3.80. My friend in California, he did the same thing. He had, I think, almost 30 boxes, and it was the same $3.80.
Wow. So even cheaper in an area that's not so rural, maybe. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, it can be. Yeah. So it was amazing. So whenever I come across a reseller or even somebody who sells on eBay, I mention that, and about 50% of the people I talk to already know about the website, and the others are like, "Well, I gotta do this.
I've got to find out. I've got to do this." Yeah. Sure. Wonderful. Okay. Great. Well, apart from the pirate company you mentioned, the pirate ship again,
pirate ship. Yeah.
Pirate ship. Okay. What about BQool? How has BQool helped you with your business? Has it, for example, increased your buy box or your sales or given you more time? How has BQool helped you?
I will tell you that one of the things I was looking for in the very beginning of 2021 was, I kept hearing about these people on YouTube talking about they use a repricer, but nobody was saying which one they use. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it? So I had to Google it. I found BQool. I went and did the free trial. I'll be honest, it took me about a month to understand it because I was trying to figure out how does it work with Amazon and what do the repricing rules mean and what percentage should I do. But before I used BQool, my highest month selling on Amazon was $5,600. And I thought, for a little part-time thing, that's not too bad.
Not too shabby.
And then it was a month and a half or 2 months later, that next full month, I hit 14,000. And
wow.
I didn't send in any more. Well, I sent in more products, but no more than normal. But I went from $5,600 to 14,000. I think it was like 2 months later. And the only thing that changed was I added BQool to what I do, and I learned how to set the minimums and the maximums. I've always used the maximum profit rule, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, this worked. And since then, because even though I'm considered full time, I still do this on a part time basis. My lowest month since then was about 11,000. So I mean that right there turned me into a 6-figure. So now that was mid last year, and I already hit over 100,000 for the 12-month time frame, and it was a big. BQool was the big factor in that change.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you, Tom. That's wonderful. So yeah, the rules are very good when you go in. Some users find it a little bit complicated, a little bit difficult, but the AI is there as well. That takes care of things. You just set it and forget it. But the rules, yeah, if you use our rules, suggested rules, most people will see a profit. But that's good to hear that it's worked for you. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I would on the BQool YouTube channel. I've watched a lot of those videos. Or actually, you're the one doing the videos, learning how to use the rules and what does what. So looking at the software, watching the YouTube videos, going on YouTube and typing in just BQool and looking at other successful sellers that are using the same software. And sometimes they'll say, I use this rule here and I use this rule here. You kind of just like collect all that data and then say, okay, what is going to work for me? And when I input all that, I went from 5,600 to 14,000.
Okay, so you found some good, helpful advice online to help you tweak things and get it working for you personally.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yep. Are there any tools that you find work well with BQool? Is there anything that you can use together with it?
Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is my favorite, and I'll tell you why. Before I started using, I actually started using Inventory Lab probably about 2 or 3 months before BQool. And before Inventory Lab, I had roughly, now keep in mind, going back before 2021, I never did more than 20,000 a year on Amazon because it was part-time. I had my full-time job, did very well there. So I just looked at Amazon as a side thing. I'll send in stuff when I can, made an extra 20 grand a year. And then I discovered Inventory Lab. Before that, at that point in Amazon, I had roughly about 1,000 items in Amazon's inventory, but had less than $1,000 in sales. And I didn't know why. I discovered that it was pretty much like 1,000 items of low quality, high ranking products. So when I found Inventory Lab, because they have a lot of their reports and accounting and everything, showed me a lot of my mistakes I was making. This category, you're thinking good, but you're only averaging about maybe 10% profit in that category. And it also breaks down. You can also do reports based on stores like Ross or TJ Maxx or Walmart, how much business you've done with each one, selling on Amazon, and your profit margin. I bring up Inventory Lab because when I discovered BQool and I saw that it worked in conjunction with Inventory Lab, it was a match made in heaven. Okay. And I'm like, okay, all right. So now everything is coming together. Inventory Lab, the Scoutify app on my phone. When I scan stuff, I use the Scoutify app. And the Scoutify app does 2 things that I love. One, it tells me what percent the product is in, and that's going back to the chart where I state in column. It tells me this product you just scanned is in the top 1% of this category. And it also tells me, the Scoutify 2 app tells me, hey, you already have 3 or 4 of these in stock. Or you click on history and it'll say, you have sold 9 of these in the past month and your average profit was like $7. So it gives you a history of what you have in inventory and if anything is sold, what it's sold for, and your profit. So I found Inventory Lab, then I found BQool and married them together. They work together. It's a beautiful relationship. All of that together is what helped to 2.5 times my sales.
Fantastic to hear that, Tom. Thank you. So it's like almost like having an expert with a perfect memory on your shoulder who helps you make the right
Yeah,
decisions and
I've got
even
inventory
does the
live over
things.
here and BQool over here.
Great. And probably use keeper charts as well.
I do use Keepa. I pay
Hmm.
their subscription. It's like $17 or $18 a month.
Hmm.
I love the fact that I can bring it up on my computer screen if I'm doing online arbitrage. Keepa on the uh, Spotify 2 app, you can click on research and go right to Keepa and look at
Hmm.
the Keepa chart to see the history of a product, how long it's been selling, how many people are selling it for, how long it's been selling on Amazon, what the average pricing is. It's a huge help. The last tool that I use is actually a tool called Reseller. It's a Chrome extension. So when I'm doing online arbitrage and I bring up an Amazon listing, the rev seller box will show up on the screen. I input my cost and it gives me all this buying information on that product. So I don't even have to use my phone at all. Like everything is there on my screen. And that, in conjunction with everything else, helps me to make those buying decisions.
Sure. Wonderful. Thank you, Tom. That's great. So a little run through of the tools that are necessary to run a business. And thank you for including BQool there.
Oh, yeah, you
Wonderful.
bet.
If you could give our audience 2 or 3 standout tips that you've learned along the way, Tom, what would they be? Anything that you could suggest people do?
There's a lot of different things. I've had a lot of people ask me that question, and there's so much involved in Amazon, but I just
Mm.
direct people to the things that I did when I first started. I always refer to them to YouTube, and I say I look at YouTube. I call it like YouTube University. There's
Hmm.
so much that you can learn. I have learned a ton from other resellers that sell on Amazon much longer than I have, even some just a couple of years, and just watched their videos and picked up one or two little nuggets here and there over the last 7 years and just learned that way. It's been a huge difference. Another one is when you have that product at home and you're trying to figure out how to price that product on Amazon when you're listing it. You know, you say you've got this cup right here, and it's selling
Hmm.
on Amazon for $20. Okay, that's the
Hmm.
low price is 20, the high price is 40. For some reason, this is gold and it's selling for as high as $40. Don't be afraid to price this cup in the mid range at $30. Okay,
Hmm.
don't be the one that prices this at $19.99. You
Don't
know,
be
a
that
company
1 cent guy.
don't be that 1 cent guy, because that 1 cent guy might just have one of these in his inventory,
Hmm.
and let him sell out. That $20 guy might have only two or three of those in his inventory. Let him sell out. You will get that $30 price at some point, but don't be afraid to put your pricing right in the middle. Look at the high where it's going for, look at the low, and be somewhere right in the middle where you're comfortable.
Tom, that's a nugget right there. People
Yeah,
just need to be a little bit patient, and they'll see their profits stay or maintain or even go up by
yeah.
pricing properly,
You,
not
you,
not
you
not chasing people down on the
Yeah,
buying
you
offers.
have to be this. I consider Amazon a game of patience.
Hmm.
When you know you have something that's going to sell, you know you can get your profit. Just be a little bit patient with it. If it takes a month to get that profit, and you're going to get $3 or $4 more, if you've got 500 items in your Amazon store that do that every month, that could be an additional $1,500 to $2,000 in revenue, just because you were just a little bit patient with your pricing. Um,
Absolutely, yeah.
I think one more tip that I would give, actually, I tell a lot of people, is to go on to Facebook and look for Amazon reselling groups and join them. I'm a part of probably three or four bigger ones. And even after 7 years, I'm still putting in questions in these groups like, what do you do when you get an IP claim, or I got this
Mm.
letter, or I got something from this brand saying cease and assist, what do you do? How do you handle it? And there's always somebody in the group that's already had that issue that kind of walks you through. you want to do this, you want to do that. If you need more assistance, here's a website that helped me. Don't be afraid to ask questions, but look for Facebook groups regarding Amazon and join those groups and just learn from the people, from the veterans in those groups.
Yeah, I think, Tom, you've definitely come up with 3 very top tips there. Really good. YouTube, certainly, for the information. Again, the community, joining communities online for, again, information specific to your particular wants and needs. Yeah, that was really good advice. Thank you. If you could go back in time and give yourself some advice at any point in your life, would you do anything differently regarding Amazon or anything else?
When I was 18, it was 1990. Amazon started in 1994. So I would say I would tell myself to buy a lot of Amazon stock in 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't think I would change anything because everything that I've learned along the way has helped me to get to where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
What I do now, I have 3 children, 6, 16, and 19. And what I do now is I try to teach them the things that I kind of wish I knew when I was 18 years old, 19 years old. Like, for example, my son, when he turned 18, nobody taught me about, like, say, your credit score. So I had to learn about that. And during the 20s, I was bad at it. But when my son turned 18, we went to his bank. We got a secured line of credit card. I taught him how to use it. And within 9 months, he went from a 0 credit score to a 760 credit score.
Wow.
In 9 months. So he was still 18 years old. And he needed a car because now he graduated high school. He got a good job. So I said, okay, let's get you a car. He got a car and he got instant approval without my help. At the age of 18, a newer, like 3 or 4 year old car, without dad's help, without any of my own money, all on his own. So I teach them to do what I wish I would have known or done back when, at that age of like 18 years old.
Absolutely. Yeah. So financial advice, but anything really, anything about life, teaching your children. Yeah, of course, where we went wrong, maybe, and the things that we did right as well. Of course. Yeah. Good and bad examples.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Sure. My parents did the same. What worries you or keeps you up at night? Is there anything, Tom, at this stage?
In the beginning, it was what would worry me was finding product to sell on Amazon. Where am I going to find it? Am I going to find enough of it? Am I going to make enough profit on it to the point where I could sell it, get the money back, and go out and buy more stuff? Because sometimes that could be a 2 or 3 week time frame in between there. That was in the beginning. Last couple of years, I've gotten more comfortable. I've gotten more into a little bit of wholesale. I've gotten into replenishables where I can go to the grocery store, buy some sort of grocery product, send it in Amazon. It sells pretty quickly, and then I can go back to the grocery store and buy more and do that over and over and over again. So the more experience that I started to get, the more I started to learn what I could find out there, the more sleep I got, because I wasn't so worried about finding product. I mean, and especially right now we're at the end of March. In last December, when I left my job, and I was there for 32 years. When I left my job, that was my biggest fear when starting January 1st. Am I going to find enough product to keep me going? Because now this is my full-time thing.
Right.
I've got the home, I've got the mortgage, the wife, the 3 kids, and that kept me up at night. But once I got more comfortable, more at ease, now I'm 3 months into this full time, I get a little bit more sleep at night. So
good. Glad to hear that. I think with the bills, yes, once we know that the bills are taken care of and everything, that we can rest easy. We can sleep a bit better, certainly.
Now, I will say one thing that helped me to get more sleep is that I actually saved up roughly about 6 months of bills before I left my full-time job. So I made sure that I had some money in the bank in case something happened, that I had money in there. Now, obviously, my wife has a very good job. She works full time. She has a very good job, but I still need to make sure that I needed to cover what I need to cover. So I had about 6 months of income in a savings account as a cushion, which helped me
Right.
to rest more at night as well.
Yeah, a cushion always helps me sleep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but you're right. I've read somewhere that a minimum of 3 months money in the bank to cover
yeah,
anything. Yeah,
yeah.
but 6 months, obviously, yeah, you're more comfortable. So yeah, very, very good
Yeah,
advice again.
I was
Sorry.
I was lucky enough to have a very good job where I was able to take my Amazon money, any profits, and put it back into Amazon to build it during 2020 or during 2021, and at the same
Mhm.
time not have to use any of it to pay any bills because I had my regular full-time job to take care of that for me. So it was a little bit easier, but definitely having that cushion was a big help.
Yes. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. I know you sometimes get your family to help you, modeling clothes, for example, but do you? I've seen a few online. Very, very cute daughter you have, by the way, with the
Thank you.
blue hoodie. Very nice.
Oh yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
yeah. Do you have any virtual assistants? Do you have anybody working for you or assisting you in the business?
Just my 6-year-old daughter.
Just well, she's
I
doing a great job.
Yeah, I actually do not use any virtual assistants. I never have. I see that a lot of bigger sellers do.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
do see myself getting into that probably sometime towards the end of this year as I continue to grow. But as of right now, I do everything myself. My daughter, that you've seen in some of my videos or pictures online, whenever she's looking for some money to like go out to maybe Target and buy a doll or
Hmm.
something, she'll say,
Pocket
"Dad,
money.
yeah." She'll say, "Dad, what can I do to earn money?" Instead of saying, "Can I have $20 about to buy this doll?" She'll say, "What can I do to earn some money?" So I'll have her.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I taught them very early is to never
That's a
ask for.
great thing to teach. Yeah, is
Yeah.
that they have that work ethic and they want to have something in life. Then you have to work towards it. You have to put in the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And I actually started that back in 2015. My son now who's 19, back in 2015, I started that when he was just a teenager. And he would say the same thing, "Dad, what can I do to earn money?" So he would help me pack stuff for Amazon, ship stuff, label it. My 16-year-old girl did the same exact thing. And now my 6-year-old, what I have my 6-year-old do is when I get those products home, I have her take the labels off because I hate doing that. So I have her take the price tags off. And
Uh-huh.
she does it pretty good. I'll have her put stickers on things, and she'll say, "How much is this job paying?" And
But hang on, children put stickers on things all the time anyway?
well, yeah, they do. Now I just have her taking stickers off of things.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
but she'll always say to me, "All right, well, if I do this, how much are you going to pay me?" And I'll say, "I'll tell you what. For every sticker that you take off, I will
Mhm.
give you 15 cents. So it's up to you to figure out how much money you want to make." And then she's like, "Oh, okay." So she'll just take them up, and all of a sudden now I owe her like $6 or $7, and I'm like, "Oh my God, can I write this off somehow?" So
Yeah, there's a bit of a tax incentive there because it sounds like the amounts are going up.
oh yeah,
But
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
she she enjoys doing it, and she enjoys working, and
Yeah, she does because she is learning. She's only in first grade. She's learning. I know that she's not going to learn these types of things in school. So
no.
I started teaching this same thing with my son around the age of 10. I started teaching him about this stuff, and I think that's why he is as far as he is at the age of 19.
I'm sure.
Same thing with my 16-year-old, and the same thing with my 6-year-old. I need to start early teaching them this so that as they get older and they end up out on their own, like my oldest, they're good to go. They're good to go.
Yes.
Hopefully.
First-hand practical experience is always good in life, and yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting good teaching there.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tom. You said before that you started selling as a hobby. I'm interested. Why and how did you scale up the business? How did you grow it to what it is today?
I wanted more time home. My goal, well, back in 2012, when I was 40, my goal was to retire from the 9 to 5. by the time I was 50. I joined the network marketing company. And I thought, you know what? Okay, this is the way to make that happen. And then in 2015, I discovered Amazon. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I retired from my family's business this past December at the age of 49. I have my work salary here, and then I have my network marketing income and my Amazon income. Well, my network marketing income and my Amazon income were 2.5 times more than my job income. And at that point, I'm like, oh, okay. So I said to my wife, I said, this was in the beginning of 2021. I said, January 1st, 2022, I want to go full time with Amazon. That'll mean I'll be home more with the kids to do whatever needs to be done, which is what my goal. The money wasn't the goal. It was the freedom to do whatever I wanted to do. That was the goal. The money, when you put in the work, the money kind of comes along and it's nice, but it's not the money I was concerned with. It was the time.
Yes.
So, I told my wife, I said, listen, I said, if I can do what I'm doing now on a part-time business, imagine if I did these two things on a full-time basis. Yeah. So luckily, my wife said, I support you 100%. Do what you want to do. So during 2021, I ramped up everything as much as I could. I still had my income from my job. I would use that to pay the bills. But with Amazon Network Marketing, I took all of that money and bought more stuff and I bought courses, learned more, and just grew as much as I could. January 1st hits. I've got 6 months of cushion in the bank. I retire from my family's business at the age of 49, 2 months shy of my 50th birthday, hit that goal, and just started going from there. Now I'm home. I put my daughter on the bus every morning. I get her off the bus every morning. If there are dentist appointments or doctor appointments during the day, I take them to all those. I don't miss anything at all. And I actually work my Amazon business in between all of that.
Yes.
And easily am a 6-figure Amazon seller while working Amazon in between the family obligations. That's why I do it.
Fantastic. That's the dream, really, to be flexible and to do what you want when you want. That's inspirational. That's something that most people want to get, but they don't know how to get it. So I think listening to you and following your story, a lot of people can draw inspiration from that.
And I'll mention that I did not go to college. I'm not a college graduate. I don't have any degrees in anything. But I'd say that the biggest factor is just determination and consistency. No matter what your level of education, it doesn't matter. If you are determined and you're consistent, you'll make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And have a plan and a goal. And you said you had a goal and you achieved that by retiring before the age of 50. So amazing. Really, really good. Tom, have I missed anything important? Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience? Anything that you think I might have missed?
You've hit everything on the head. I mean, Amazon is a difficult business. Amazon is not easy. I have one-on-one physically gone to stores with people that wanted to learn Amazon, where they pay me for my time to go to Walmart with them or a thrift store and scan items. And I tell them, this is a good buy because of this. This is a bad buy because of this. And they're all excited. But 90% of those people that I've coached, either online or they're local to me, they've all quit. They've all quit because they realize how difficult it can be. So once you get through that, what I call that hump, that curve, and you realize, you know what, if I really want this to work, I've got to treat this like a job, and I've got to learn how to make it work. I've got to learn what I can sell, what I can't. The other 10% thrive. I had actually one of my students sent me a Facebook message a couple months ago. It was probably 4 months after I coached him, and I took him out to 4 stores. We bought a bunch of product. We went back to his home. I helped him list, prep, pack, and ship everything to Amazon all in one day. I spent the day with him, and I thought, and he was only 22 years old. I said, his name is Kenny. So Kenny, if you're watching this, I'm very proud of you. Did all of that in one day, and then he sent me a Facebook message about 4 months ago saying that he just hit $36,000 in sales on Amazon. I'm like, all right.
That's great. That's a success story like that is fantastic, and more so because you were the one who literally walked him through the store and took him through the process, shipping everything else. To get that kind of news is wonderful.
Well, yeah,
really good. Yeah. You were talking about that initial hump, or the kind of learning curve that people go through, and a lot of people, 90% maybe, kind of give up at that stage. But I think, it's worth just pushing through, being consistent, doing as much as you can do, and you'll get there.
The biggest problem that I have the new people selling Amazon say to me is that they can't find any product. And I say, listen, 90% of what you scan, you will not be able to sell. You have to find that other 10%. And I say, look at it as finding gold or searching for treasure. That 10%, when you find it, that 10% can make you successful on Amazon. And the more 10% things that you find, the more you sell on Amazon, the more Amazon is going to start to recognize that you're being consistent. The more things you're going to get automatically ungated to sell. Like for Nike back in 2017 or 18, or when Nike decided that from that point on, you had to be approved to sell Nike. I was actually grandfathered into selling that brand because I was very consistent with it before that point. So when it came to the point where some sellers couldn't sell it anymore, or the new seller couldn't sell it anymore, I was still allowed to sell all of Nike type products.
Because you had that history, you had that consistency over time, and that's.
I had the consistency, I had the history. About a year ago, I decided to get ungated in Adidas. It went through the process, and I was actually approved by Amazon in about 4 hours to sell Adidas. And I was like, wow, that was quick, because sometimes you hear, you gotta submit the paperwork 20 times before you get approved. 4 hours later, I got an email saying, you are approved to sell Adidas. Because
I guess when you're finding all these nuggets, Tom, you eventually get the golden touch. you were very lucky, within 4 hours to get ungated by them by Adidas. Wonderful, great. Okay, before we finish today, Tom, I've got a few fun, quick questions for you. Just either or. See what you think of them. Are you up for that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, great. Yeah. FBM or FBA?
FBA.
FBA. Okay. Any reason? It's easier?
Well.
Less hassle?
It is a whole lot less hassle. When you, FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, when you send products into Amazon, you ship them in Amazon, they sit in the Amazon warehouse. And when a customer buys that product, Amazon ships it to the customer. Amazon takes care of any returns. Amazon takes care of any customer service. They take care of all of that. I don't have to deal with that. I dealt with customer service in my family's business for 32 years prior to that. So
thank you.
enough. So roughly about 90% of my products I ship into Amazon. The other 10% I do MF, merchant fulfill, only because it's a grocery product with shorter expiration dates. So I hold the product here at my home, temperature controlled to make sure everything's good. And then I ship it out whenever I sell it. But for the most part, definitely FBA, because Amazon takes care of all the logistics and customer service and returns.
Got it. Of course. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Tom. Yeah, FBA, definitely. FBA all day.
Yeah.
Another few things off topic. Chips or candy?
It depends on the candy. It depends. I'm a chocolate. I have a sweet tooth. I'm a chocolate nut. Reese's peanut butter cups are my favorite. Whenever Halloween comes around and the kids come back with candy, they give me all the Reese's peanut butter cups.
They know you love it. Yeah, I'm chocolate.
I
I'm
love
chocolate
it.
too.
So I definitely have a sweet tooth.
Okay, great. Italian or German?
Well, Italian. If you're doing that, uh, Italian. I my residual income, along with Amazon, helped me to purchase a Alfa Romeo, which is an Italian car. I love it. I bought it back in 2019. It was a 2020, or it was a 2017. I bought it.
Okay.
I bought it in 2019. It was 2 years old, coming off of a 2-year lease. I bought it, and it was kind of like my little reward to myself, for what I've accomplished a few years before. So that's the only thing that I had that I consider like fancy, you know. But I love to drive it. I feel confident when I drive it, and it's kind of every time I drive it, it's kind of like feeling this is because I did well here. This is kind of my reward, 3-4 years later. Now with today's economy, I've actually had a couple of dealers reach out to me wanting to buy my car because there's a
Gone up
shortage
in
of
value.
cars.
Yeah,
My
appreciate
car
it.
has actually gone up in value since 2019. I'm blown away.
It's
I
unheard of,
almost,
really. All cars depreciated before, but now, yeah,
yeah,
certain models going up in value, definitely. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like
Well,
Italian myself. I love
mm,
Italy. So, okay, Android or Apple?
I have a Android Galaxy Z Fold phone. So
Okay.
I'm an Android user for many reasons. I had Apple in the past, but I just like what I can do and what's compatible with Android product.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I've got an Android. Beach or mountain when vacationing?
Oh, well, I live in the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
um, I will tell you that whenever we vacation, we go to the beach. My wife is from Uruguay, South America,
Hmm.
which is the bottom tip of Brazil, which has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and I've
Oh,
been there. So that she grew up literally on the beach. So and she misses that. So the beaches here in the states where we're at on the East Coast, they don't even compare, but they're the closest thing. So my wife goes to Uruguay to visit her family 1 to 3 times a year, depending on what's going on. Usually
hmm.
goes for 2 to 4 weeks at each time, and then I stay home and take care of everything here. But definitely every year, sometimes twice a year, we're actually going to the beach.
Wonderful. Yeah, great. Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
BQool Repricing or do-it-yourself repricing?
Ah, BQool Repricing, definitely. That's how my sales went from 5,600 to 14,000 within a 2-month time frame because of their repricer. There's no other way to do it. When I had 1,000 items at Amazon's warehouse and I was trying to manually price things myself, I would spend probably a good an hour a day, Monday through Friday, looking through everything, and I would literally get migraines from staring at the screen so much. BQool Repricer, I'm gonna say, saves me that 5 hours a week, because one of the first things I do in the morning is I go into BQool and I look at, has any inventory hit Amazon that I don't have my minimums and maximums set for yet.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's only 5 or 10 things. I might have a bunch of SKUs of that one thing. It'll
Hmm.
take me literally 5 minutes or less to set up my minimums and maximums for those couple items. I set it, and like you said, then I forget it.
Set it and forget it. Yeah, but
I
obviously,
forget it.
as yeah, have a quick look and just tidy up one or two things, the min, max, and the rule. And
Yeah,
if you're doing it that way, yeah, and you're good to go.
definitely.
Great. Okay. Well, Tom, thank you for that last answer. I didn't need to do
Sure.
any editing on that one.
Very good.
Everybody, please remember to like and subscribe if you found this webinar useful. I know I did, and I know I will. Remember also to check out Tom's channels. He's always uploading useful and interesting content. We will provide you with a description at the bottom of this video. Thank you again for your time today, Tom. You were a great guest, and I'll
Thank you.
continue to follow your journey on Amazon online
Yeah,
regarding Amazon and other things. And I'm sure you'll go on to even greater success. So
thank,
thank you, Tom.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's goodbye from me as well. Until next time, remember, everybody, Be cool. Goodbye.